Hi everyone, welcome back to another Heavy Metal Diecast video review. Today we've got one here, well, from Hobby Master in 1/48 scale diecast. We have got ourselves a good old Focke-Wulf 190A-4 from Geschwader 54 Grunherz. It's early 1943 and it was flown by a Luftwaffe ace, Hans Trautloft. Now, he would gain his first air victory in the Spanish Civil War, and he would get 5 confirmed victories over there, and then another 3 during World War II on the West Front before taking command of JG-54. Now, while in command of JG-54, he would eventually find his way to the Eastern Front and would shoot down another 45 aircraft, ending the war with a total of 58 aerial victories. Now, by July of 1943, he was appointed to the staff of the General de Jagerpflege, and actually no longer flew combat missions. In 1944, he did hear a rumour that Allied airmen were being held at a Buchenwald concentration camp. Pretending to inspect bomb damage, he tried to find out if this was true. Now, while he was about to leave, a US airman shouted out to him in fluent German. SS guards tried to stop Hans, but he pointed out that he outranked them, and they allowed him to speak to the US airmen. Hans did find out that there was 160 Allied airmen being held instead of in a proper POW camp. Hans quickly began the process to have them all transferred out of the concentration camp. This would actually happen 7 days before their scheduled execution. The Allied were then transported to Stalag Luft 3 POW camp. Now, in the last days of the war, he would steal a small plane and flew it to where his fiancée was in Oberstdorf, I think it was. Now, he and his half-Jewish fiancée would hide in the mountains in little huts until the war was over. They would then come down to the village and register with authorities. He would marry his fiancée, and also then in 1957 would join the West German Air Force as well, and he would retire in 1970. Hans would pass away in 1995, aged 82. Now, I do like to tell these little stories because, you know, everyone thinks of a German, it's a Nazi, but they are not. Not every German was a Nazi, so I do like to hear little stories like this, and I do like to try and bring them to people just to, you know, show them not everyone was a bad person in Germany during World War II. Now, this aircraft absolutely looks brilliant, though. It has the usual details on the flap and that sweet-looking model in there. We've got to get it out, though. It is very white, so hopefully we'll be able to see it on our table. All right, let's release this model. I have talked long enough. Alrighty, with it out of the box, it does have the stand as per usual. And that is what it does look like. It has a metal shaft and the rest is plastic. We'll get this open. All right, let's try and get this out in our hands quickly. I did have a bit of a long introduction explaining the history. Now, it does have the, the gear down and the gear up components, which is pretty cool. All right, now to get this out. Beautiful. Thank you very much. We'll quickly move that out of the way. So it does have some really nice wheel well details in there, which is pretty cool. In the effort of saving some time, let's try and put it together quickly. I do try and do this quickly, and it ends up making me drop them, and then I'm taking longer than I should. So that is the routine for your gear up. That does look pretty cool. And of course our retracted tail wheel in there. So that is, well, in flight. That is ready to go. There is no tank or anything with this one, so that is no big drama to me, but wow, this does look really nice. Check out that. Yep. Beautiful. No, that's absolutely awesome. It has some really nice details. We'll have a little zoom in for you so you can see it. The white is very, very clean. Look, if you were going to say anything, it's probably too clean. You could, I don't know, dirty it up a little bit if you wanted to. Now that should, I think these slide back. Yes. So you can put your pilot in. You do get a little Hans if you want to put him in the cockpit. And that beautiful blue swastika, that looks awesome. Let's see if they used very light, sticky... Oh, they did. Fantastic. I did contact Hobby Master about the one where we had some issues. And they said that they do tell the factories to put very non-sticky stickers on it so that they come off nicely, but sometimes they do forget and put really sticky ones on, like I experienced, which leave a residue. This one doesn't leave too much. I think there is a little bit on there, but nothing major. And that is how it looks during the war. So that is period correct. It's not because I like to see that symbol. That's just how the aircraft looks. I reckon it does look brilliant though. But at least they put it on there. They might cover it up for the transport and when they have it in the shops, but at least they have it on there for you to take that sticker off and have it in your own private collection and displayed like that. Yep, pretty damn cool. If you want to put the pilot in, it should be straightforward. There we go, Hans. Put him in. Beautiful. And that is in flight. You want to put it on the stand, of course. Straightforward. There is a little sort of a notch there. You've got to sort of line up there and then push it push it in there and put that back like that. Oh, it's a little bit loose, and that should be that. I'll zoom out a fraction, and that is your beautiful Focke-Wulf 190, all white, ready to go. Yep, looks absolutely freaking awesome. Gear down should be just a straightforward process of taking that out, putting your lowered tail wheel in like that, and trying to get these out. I do have a little tool somewhere. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't... I was going to say, hopefully it doesn't fly too far, because I probably have to put that piece in, and I reckon it's on another planet right now. It's hiding somewhere in my garage, like on the floor there. So we'll put the... I'll put the landing gear in properly. Oh dear, one of those nights. But it slips in there very nicely, and of course, well, the wheels, they do roll. Obviously the tail wheel does not. And we'll see how it quickly sits on there. I'll get that other piece. But it sits on that landing gear with no issue, so that is good. And then you'll just put that little piece back in like so. But it does have some nice detail in there, as I showed before. That looks pretty cool. It is definitely a really nice looking model. The Hobbymaster Focke-Wulfs are awesome. I like them. I like a butcher bird. And this is another pretty cool one. What does it weigh? Well, let's have a little look. All right. We do have 278 grams for this one, which is really cool. All right, no pun intended with the winter paint. We'll put this on the deck. We'll wind up the video. I will happily, as I say, take photos of this, throw them at the end for those of you that like to check out this without my sausage fingers all over it. Sausage finger test, it is a reasonable size, 1/48 scale World War II aircraft, really nicely sized. And of course, don't forget, if you enjoyed this, some of those my way, of course, hopefully that long intro was worth the listen, and then this model was worth the watch. All right, everyone, thank you very much. Of course, drop some comments below if you've got something to say, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're watching and haven't done that as yet. Well, thank you, of course, everyone that has watched this video so far. I do appreciate everyone that does drop past. All right, you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.